GOTV. It's Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. What get into building? How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning. Before I forget, today is my granddaughter. I know she won't be watching, but my granddaughter's birthday. She's 5 today.
Oh,
yes.
Happy birthday.
Yes, and I'm having a party. I'll invite you in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
I'll invite your small ones, not your old ones.
How you doing? Doing well?
No. NEPA.
Power holding. They are holding the power.
We haven't had light in the house for over 4 days now. They've taken the light. They said they are repairing the transformer. They have not carried the transformer. The community people have now come to say they are taking it. They are bringing in an old one to replace our own. So the Nigeria corruption will not kill us. It will not kill us because it's just, and I'm just so upset. How can you? And we are bandeo. We are bandeo. This is what I'm saying about this bandit. Whether you are bandit or you are a bandit, they are all the same. We are still buying diesel. We are still buying diesel. Same thing at the time we are buying diesel. So when they're giving me high prices, you are paying through your nose for NEPA and you're still buying diesel. Yeah, they're killing you. Your money is worthless now. Please,
So the issue is that the transformer is spoiled and they haven't fixed the transformer. That's the issue.
The transformer isn't spoiled. They said it needs repairing.
Okay.
It's working, so they've switched us off.
It's something that is spoiled that needs to be repaired now.
Are you rationing?
Well, not rationing. I said switch off.
Okay, let's move on. How are you going?
No, I must run this because I'm not the only one suffering this. Many people. We even have sometimes we've had light, but come on. Yeah, I know. Okay,
let me because of banter time. How are you doing, Nima?
I'm grateful to God. Maybe I should ease it. So I got help who came on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
And it was 1st of February, so I said, it's first, maybe you should just start immediately. But I ended up doing all the work.
You will be teaching the person.
Which work? Yes, more. So I just gone to the market on Friday and I brought the tomatoes, all the pepper, the way I will pick them, clean them. You know, the moment I gave her a seat, I started fetching water for her, pouring out the water for her. She was there. I said, please don't come tomorrow. I'll call you again. So I think I'm getting used to my house chores myself again. Because I cannot even imagine. I want to carry my senior for work. When next thing you hear, I said, my name is Nima, Mommy Gufran. Mommy! I said, please don't come back.
Nima, you're so used to your space. That's the thing.
I have a similar story. They finally got me help. So she started yesterday. I mean, it was even new. She's becoming twice a week.
Okay.
So she came yesterday, and she cleaned up the house. Of course, I'm still doing the cooking and everything, but she cleaned up all the house. So my husband came yesterday. This house is clean. Thank God. We can walk around bare feet and not feel dust on the floor. Walking out, I was like, busy me because it was just so this morning. Oh my God, this house is so clean. I'm thinking, what are you?
Well, you know, you're taking it personal.
I'm taking it very personal.
It might not be.
He's walking around the house saying that.
Why the emphasis? It might not be talking about you. It might just be.
I see my feet are still very clean. Imagine. I'm like,
so he's saying you did not do anything.
No, that's easy.
His feedback.
This is how I leave that matter. I don't agree. You know why I don't agree is because sometimes we are hearing what we want to hear. He's just giving his own feedback. Like somebody says, you're eating the food. I'm like, is there pepper inside this thing? And then I'm like, so you mean I did not cook well? That's not what he said. He was saying there was no pepper inside the food. So sometimes we are, like Dr. Limide said yesterday, when we are having conversations, you're having conversations with the 7 people or all the influences, generations, But I'm good. Very, very grateful. In my Holy Spirit's ministering to me era, like you do something bad and unconsciously bad, and you get feedback immediately about what you did. This morning I was like, created me a clean heart, oh God. Like, because I don't even know, Nigeria can make you start doing korukere. So you need to be reminded, let God be reminding you of, this is standard. This is you trying to help God. You know, my UA is not, that's not, when you get bonuses, that's legit. But when you're manipulating to try to get something, then it is not God. And you cannot come to church to say that kind of testimony. And we need to remind ourselves to live by the proper standard.
So it's Thursdays, our Justin Day, so let's go on a very short break and breeze through. When I say breeze through, because I don't read papers yet. Breeze through the papers. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Bagudu, why Tinubu raised budget 2025 by 4.52 trillion naira. Anyanwu Udeokoye feud split PDP. INEC tenders Edo poll results before the tribunal. Abure accuses NLC of destabilizing LP. Senate OK sack of Abia, Adamawa, Sokoto, Rex. Tinubu to hold talks with French leader Macron in Paris. Wando distributes 1.28 billion shares to shareholders. Okay, which story are we starting with?
So let me start with the Senate OK's president's request to sack 3 resident electoral commissioners for INEC. So the 3 affected were Dr. Nura Ali of Sokoto, Dr. Hudu Yunusa Ari of Adamawa, and Professor Ikemefuna Chijioke Uzochukwu of Abia. And their offenses are for Dr. Nura Ali. He had, he had been indicted by the Office of the National Security Advisor and the DSS that he was indicted for compromising the 2023 presidential elections and the National Assembly elections by receiving, apart from acts of incompetence, he also reportedly confessed to receiving $150,000 from politicians upon investigation by DSS. Also, the other one, Udu Yunusa Ari, who was suspended from Adamawa, he was suspended by President Buhari because, you know, he had some cases indicting him of usurping the powers of the returning officer, which is that of the INEC, to declare the governorship elections. And then Professor Uzochukwu was suspended for undermining election processes by mishandling logistics and abandonment of governorship and state assembly elections, as well as his refusal to reschedule supplementary elections in Abia State. Okay. And so now the motion was moved on the floor of the House by the Senate leader, Okoyemi Bamidele, with, after the letter written by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu requesting that he should be allowed to sack them and replace them.
Okay, so talk about the major headline. The 2025 budget, according to this report, was increased from 49.7 trillion to 54.2 trillion to strengthen key economic sectors and infrastructure, says the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, that's Abubakar Atiku Bagudu. He was saying that after the President had urged the National Assembly to increase the budget by 4.5 trillion naira, his letter request was read by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The President had attributed the increase of additional revenues to the additional revenues generated by many of the government agencies. These included 1.4 trillion from the FIRS, as the Federal Inland Revenue Service, the 1.2 trillion by the Nigerian Customs Service, and 1.8 trillion by other government-owned agencies. That's good news. So these agencies have gotten more money, so thereby giving the government the opportunity to increase the budget. After reading the letter, Akpabio referred it to the Senate Committee on Appropriations, and he expects the budget will be reviewed and passed this month. Okay.
All right. So I have the story about the president and his talks that he's going to be having with his counterparts from France. So he's has a private trip that he would be taking through France ahead of the official trip, which is to Addis Ababa. The AU, which is the African Union, will be having their 46th ordinary session. It will take place on the 12th, between 12th to 16th of February. But ahead of that, it would go to France and
you go Europe first, come back to Africa.
It's a private. I felt that it was a private trip to Europe, and because the president is accountable to Nigerians, he's telling us what he's going to be doing on that private trip. He's having talks with the president, his counterpart in France, the French president Emmanuel Macron, and that after that he will be going to the EU meeting, which is. I'm looking forward to where we'll have more AU meeting. Sorry, when we went to Europe, he now entered my mouth. So
okay.
AU meeting. So
any story
yeah, the Julius Abure and Alhaji Farouk Umar led National Working Committee of the Labour Party have accused the Nigerian Labour Congress of trying to destabilize the party ahead of the 2027 general elections. It says the LP has cried out about the unending falsehoods that the chairman is making. The chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress Political Commission, I've never heard of them, but his name is Theophilus Undubuaku, and the party is expressing worries that these statements casting aspersions on the integrity of the chairman, Julius Abure. And they have also said that Peter Obi will still fly their flag, and Governor Oti will still be their governor, and Gbadebo Roads Vival will still be their candidate for Lagos.
Okay, the Punch. 54 trillion naira budget, experts divided over raise. FG adds 4.5 trillion for Greek infrastructure funds. Tinubu demands school safety as fire kills 17 in Zamfara Islamic School. Nollywood filmmaker jailed 5 years for drug trafficking. Ogun assault. Falana receives elderly victim. Plans charges against remanded monarch. Edo Tribunal. INEC lists 5 witnesses over government poll. Dangote Refinery FCCPC differ as NNPCL insists on fuel import. Secession. Nigeria didn't learn from civil war, says Dogara. And transporters, NLC chapters, TUC reject highway tolling. Okay.
Okay, so FCCPC, according to Dangote, is doing busybody. They brought an application to the High Court to be joined in the suit that the Dangote filed against the NNPC. And Dangote Refinery opposed them and saying that, they are meddlesome. They are meddlesome interloper and they have no business in the case revolving around the Petroleum Industry Act against the NNPC. That is an act of the National Assembly. But the FCCPC said, Layo, we must join. We must join this case because, we want to oppose Dangote's refinery suit. And they argued that the Dangote refinery is looking to monopolize the petroleum industry, and which is contrary to the FCCPC's mandate. In the same story, Dangote announced that they have now exported 2 cargoes to Saudi Aramco of aviation fuel.
That's huge.
Huge, major for me.
And that it's sad that Nigeria will not celebrate that or even amplify it, because that's like the largest refinery in the world. And for them to even take a Dangote refinery, a Dangote jet fuel for their that
Saudi Aramco with almost every state they have in the refinery.
It's big news that every Nigerian should be proud of, that we have something. We have the highest quality of petrol, but that one will not go viral.
It's a that the FCCPC is talking to Dangote on behalf of Nigerians, not bringing a suit against Dangote.
Exactly.
It's almost as if the state is fighting something we should own.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to the radio today, I can't even understand why they're still importing fuel. You say your refineries are working. Dangote has this and you are still importing fuel. Where is the conspiracy coming from? Who is making money? Somebody is making money from bringing in fuel. And you know, if we want to be a transparent government, I think the government needs to look into it and stop turning a blind eye.
Yes.
They need to stop turning a blind eye.
And I don't think there's any balance they are creating by importing. We have local refineries and we have...
so I was going to take I took the story of the Oba Orile, the Olori of Orile. He had beaten up a man, Areoluwa Abraham, a 73-year-old man. So Falano has decided to take the case, and he says he's going to defend the guy. Meanwhile, the guy is in jail because he couldn't perfect his bail conditions. So the police have said he's still here until he can perfect.
Oba will enough perfect.
Perfect your bail condition.
Bail to the tune. You know that it's not like they'll bring the money. It's the person that has worth the money. Didn't have.
You wait a bit person anyhow.
You see how he was cursing that man in that video.
I watched it. Nima, I watched it.
Drama will be plenty today. We are going on the break at the end.
Sorry, Jay.
Let's go a very short break. When we come back, we continue our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Mom, you see, you taught me well.
In today's world, we forget what truly connects us.
I need my family to come together.
Devon Kings, bringing families together, one bite at a time.
No phones at my table.
This reminds me of the good old days. Thank you for keeping to the family traditions.
Thank you, Mama.
Devon Kings, taste that binds.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic, and enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
Say this big bull bag of rice no get the new big bull holographic seal. Not true.
Introducing the Big Bull holographic seal tape, your favorite authentic Big Bull rice, 50 kg and 25 kg. Now with holographic seal tape. This is to ensure you get the premium product from Big Bull rice. Do not buy if the holographic seal tape is not on the bag or is broken. Big Bull rice, tasty rice, nourished you.
At break time, when my champ needs to keep going, he's going to need his favorite snack, containing calcium, iron, and fiber.
Milo Snacks, snack of future champions.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout
there were no fire equipment. there were no functional fire equipment in the area, so it was just
fire station.
It was people. There was no fire station, so it was people within the area that helped in quenching the fire, and that led to the loss of 15. They say 15. I mean, 70 people were burnt to ashes, 15 injured, but out of the 100, it's still really a very, very sad story.
I'm really looking forward to, maybe it exists, one local government that says, you know what, I'm going to make my own local government the model local government is vision, where it's about getting fire stations, getting your gutters clean, getting all your schools well equipped, all the major basic activities. They'll be coming to learn from your local government. But it's so sad because you can't blame the governor, you can't blame it is a local government problem. Why is there no something to quench
fire?
For
Lagos, where will you see them? When I go home to the village,
because not prioritized.
My heart bleeds at the roads in my local
Somebody here said, okay, we need fire. I remember
even generally with education, they were saying that this facility.
Flower. We said, what's the planting flower for? But we now eventually saw the flower because then we didn't understand what is the planting flower. I told you, we went to visit started when they had Andrew came, one of the things that planting landscape. Yeah, you know, potential is landscaping. But we now saw that you enter your office and you feel like, oh my goodness, this is a nice place to work.
But the president is enjoying that all public and private schools should prioritize child safety because some of these facilities actually don't have.
This is your first time hearing it,
it's not even just schools, private companies, even government companies don't have all these facilities.
Of course,
health and safety awareness.
It's just sad.
I mean, there's a story Nima is going to take, I think, in Vanguard or something.
I was going to take the story
about the hospital that was built 5 times. Let me
finish the point. The Federal High Court in Lagos on Wednesday convicted and sentenced a 40-year-old American-trained Nollywood filmmaker Mbadiwe Emeka to 5 years imprisonment for trafficking 17.30 kilograms of Canadian loud cannabis sativa, a narcotic drug similar to cocaine, and heroin. Wow. Justice Ambrose Lewis Alagua handed down the jail term after Emeka pleaded guilty to the 2 counts of unlawful possession and importation of the drug by the NDLEA. I'm just happy we have a conviction. So there are some convictions that we want to really celebrating. Okay, Daily Sun very quickly. Import license dispute. NNPCL Dangote no faith by March 18th. ICPC chairman, how government officials paid for ghost hospital 5 times. Why APC will win Anambra governorship election, says National Secretary. Tinubu raises 2025 budget by 4.49 trillion to 59 trillion. And Reps panel Elders Forum beg Tinubu to release IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. Okay, let's start with this, your 5 times hospital that was talking about.
The chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Dr. Musa Alim, was speaking at a media party, an interactive party yesterday in Abuja, and said that there was a project that was funded 100% 5 times. Yet the project, which is supposed to be the building of a hospital, they don't even see foundation. They don't even pour sand on the ground. Talk less of to see foundation. That nothing to show for it, and they budgeted it 5 times, fully paid for it 5 times. So certainly it was the conduit. And
what state was this?
He didn't mention the state. He didn't mention individuals. He didn't indict anyone. Just was. I mentioned that instance and said we cannot continue like this. This is the problem of corruption. He also mentioned another instance and at an MDA. He didn't mention the MDA. He said one of the government officials in the payroll listed his wife and his son, who was a student, as staff members, and they were paying them. And that student was son was just a student. And he says that we cannot continue like this. He talked of the role of the media. How the media must help in reporting corruption in the country, and urge the practitioners and well-meaning members of public to sign up to fight against corruption. But
I forgot to mention.
We should mention somebody.
This part of Daily Sun, the Sun Governor of the Year award, Tony Tudumo, who was going to Soludo and Mufwa and got the award. Congratulations to them. Any other story in Punch?
Yes, we've been the story of our budget. So the budget had been submitted before, but now there's an upgrade to our budget. The Minister for Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu.
I took that story. He didn't hear me.
Jesus.
Go ahead. You might have a different angle. Go ahead.
Okay, I wasn't listening to you. But the only thing that I found interesting, because you have already distracted me from the story, is that there's a defense for it. Many people just felt that it was an escalation, but it's not just an escalation, and there's improvement in our revenue as well that they are planning to do.
I said that too. That if I
did not listen to
money and customs putting money.
And I sit down here and I did not listen to you.
Moving on now to Vanguard. Experts warn of dangers as Tinubu jerks up 2025 budget. How government officials paid for one hospital project 5 times. Okay, same stories. Final story of not taking. Petrol ex-depot price dropped by 2.7% to 895 per litre. Lagos Assembly crisis. Miranda survives as Tinubu fails to meet GAC team. Some strange ECOWAS members may opt to return, says presidency. Electoral fraud. Court sentences Varsity Don, Professor Udok to 3 years in jail. And Owando said to distribute 1.28 billion additional shares to shareholders. Okay, which story?
So let me take the story of Ondo State. The lawmaker representing Ilaje Eseudo, federal constituency of the state, Honorable Donald Ojogo, has asked the federal government to declare the oil-producing coastal communities within Ondo State as a disaster zone. He said that it is requiring a national emergency. His request is that urgent importance, sponsored because of the stress and the need to save the community from extinction as a result of ocean incursion and ocean surge. He's also asking that the amount of, he explained that the community amounts to about 5.8% of the oil produced, 60,000 barrels per day in the oil produced within that community, and they are facing devastating sea incursion, which is that the water is carrying them away, carrying the entire community away. That over 2 decades, hundreds of homes destroyed, properties have been destroyed, displacement of indigents, and this is a money-generating community, and that it should be treated with emergency. Since it's the area, he said it is disturbing scene. If you see it, that international and national broadcast channels have termed it as a depiction of negative and ecological impact images, that it looks bad. So for me, I think that we have enough ministries that can solve this problem.
Sarah Yeku went on that and reported. You should see those pictures, and thank you for taking it. So there are lawmakers doing the.
I watched it. You know, I always watch her
stories, her reports.
Yes, her reports. They are very, very enlightening. I was going to take the Akwa Ibom State High Court has sentenced Professor Ignatius Udok to 3 years in prison for electoral malpractices. He came to court in a wheelchair and he begged the court to.
We've seen that before. Thank you. Next.
As in a soft landing. And the court on first counts, they found him not guilty. On count 2, bordering on, they found him guilty of the publication of a false result. And count 3, he was found guilty of perjury under section 1191 of the Criminal Code in Akwa Ibom State. He was given 3 years in jail.
Okay, I think that's all we can take on review this morning. When we come back, we have a special feature for today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
World needs mums. With a splash of golden terra oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Change no thanks into yes please. Resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle.
Certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
my 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Yeah, that's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show. Give for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some spoils.
That woman.
Bam!
Bam!
Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good.
Thanks for staying with us. So this morning we'll be discussing the upcoming High Net Worth Summit of 2025, themed Mastering Business, the Global Blueprint. This summit is set to be a game changer for entrepreneurs and business leaders in Nigeria and beyond. Joining us today to shed more light on this is Sam Oja, the founder, Fund Real Estate NG. He'll be here to share insights on why this summit is a must attend. Welcome to the show, Sam. Good to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning.
Good.
To all our listeners all over the world.
Yes, so we'll be hearing about this High Net Worth Summit. Tell us exactly, why is this one different?
Yeah, the High Net Worth Summit, by the name itself, shows that we mean serious business. It's a summit that we have created to raise a new set of high net worth individuals and also foster collaboration and partnership with the existing ones. If you look at Nigeria as a whole, we have less than, I think maybe about 5 billionaires in dollars that are notable.
Wow.
Then we have about 9,800 millionaires in dollars. And that's like the third largest in Africa, right? But if you look at it from a perspective holistically, look at our population. So it means that 0.00049% of us are the ones in the higher echelon of the financial pyramid. And with what has happened in the last 2 years in Nigeria, we have almost extincted the middle class. So if you have less than 1% at the top, it means that you have 99% at the bottom. And that's a huge pandemic. And we need to solve that. And that's one of the reasons why we created the High Net Worth Summit. And this year, we are focusing on business, mastering business. A lot of people who are doing business in Nigeria today started out because of survival. And more often than not, they don't know that they have to change that goal to something else, because by the time you survive, you are okay with the barest minimum. You know, so business, mastering business is very important. We are churning out graduates every year to go and work where, you know. some people have to create their businesses that will affect the lives of every other person. We need much more of that, and that's one of the reasons why we are creating. What makes it special? I mean, the lineup of speakers alone is amazing. We have Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, over 50 years of experience. Dr. Lumide Emmanuel, over 30 years of experience. And I also be the host, and I paid for the class. I'm the host, but I paid to show that is a very serious. I'm really looking forward to that.
Fantastic.
So the previous High Network Summit was 4 years ago. Why did it take so long to host another one? And what were the results from that first one?
Yeah, and we really believe that to build something sustainable and solid, it must take time, right? I'm not an advocate of blowing. If you blow, whatever blows, like Dr. Lumide says, disintegrates and becomes very useless. I believe that you should grow up. 2021 was the first edition, and we had 4 keynote speakers. Doctor was one of our keynote speakers in that particular edition, and 18 delegates were present. Some from China, some from the United States, and different parts of the world. I can tell you categorically here that 10 of them are already operating in high numbers because the process of growth between that time and now, and they are already registered. We already have over 20 people that have registered for this event, even before Advert started properly. And many of them are people who are from the last edition. The next one is in 2029. So if you miss out on this, it means that you wait till 2029.
So I know that it's a small group.
Yeah.
And the goal is to target entrepreneurs that with the best global practices. So what will be the specific strategies and tools that you think will be shared to help these entrepreneurs to scale and grow their business?
Number 1, 2, planning and execution. So let's take an example here. We have TMO, we have Morayo. Let's say an example that you don't know real estate. So 2 of you go to Dr. Lumide to go and learn real estate. Morayo, after learning, went ahead to go and open our office, buy laptop for our staff, everything. You went behind to go and set up your goal, to make sure that your goal is not a product goal, but a business goal. Many people are running a business that is a product that they ought to have sold to businesses and be collecting royalties. So you sit down there, think about your USP. What is my unique selling point before I come into market? You also sit down there, check whether there's a gap in the market and there's a market in the gap. So all those things are what you do. Meanwhile, she started a car, put her leg on the gas, the product that will not sell. You're just going to be wasting your product that will not sell. You're just going to be wasting your time. So this event is packed for every aspiring businessman, or you are currently already in business, you can come and correct your errors, or you are an individual that desires a high net worth status. This is a program for you.
Fantastic.
Okay. What challenges do you think the Nigerian CEOs face, and how will you address them?
Yeah, I must first salute every Nigerian CEO, because doing business anywhere in the world is very difficult. But doing business in Nigeria is even much more difficult because, number 1, the business environment, more often than not, is harsh, right, to innovations and to inventions. So that's one. Number 2, the problem, one of the problems they face is problem of collaboration. Many of them are doing things that they're meant to collaborate together. For example, now you have the end-to-end process. Let's take a business of agri-business, for example. You have the planting of raw materials, you have the processing, you have the packaging, you have the advertisements. You see many Nigerian businesses that don't have the capacity to do only one of them, to do all of them. You are meant to just focus on one. The other is focus on packaging. Then start doing backward integration when you have grown. You know, these are some of the things that information also. Many Nigerian CEOs don't attend programs. Ask TMO how much she pays for classes. Several classes that we have been together. So it is very important that as a leader of an organization, you don't stop learning. You continue learning. And with that, you have association relationships that can help you. One client sometimes is better than 100 clients. You pack 100 clients together and the entire sales is like 100 million. And one client does 1 billion for you. So this is one of the things that you need to start thinking about to put your business in the next level.
So you have a software, it's a real estate negotiation software. What is that about? Tell us.
Oh, when we came into that space, there were lots of problems about trust in investment, lack of financial education, and greed. So we just went back to develop a software that allows Nigerians to negotiate their own real estate investments under their own terms and conditions. So that nobody's giving any return on any ROI ahead of time. So you go to your software, input how much you have, that's fundrealestate.ng, the interest and the duration. You will not believe, Morayo, how much Nigerians are greedy. You see people negotiate on that platform 20 million, 3 months, 50%. We have rejected over 4.5 billion in 18 months as a cooperative society. If we were Ponzi scheme, probably have taken that away. Many Nigerians have money, but they have greed, they have lack of financial information, and that's why we created that software. But the one that is coming, the free app, Fund Real Estate is the John the Baptist. This one is the Jesus Christ. It's a national solution, and I'm saying it's not right here on national TV. If you're a bank CEO, this is a real estate banking software. Reach out to our marketing team so that you will not be left behind, because we have over 5 of them already on that particular platform. We're about to launch that app, and at the end of Summit, people that are residential with us will have a preview of what that is, and they can also buy equity in what will become a unicorn.
Okay, so what are the special early bird rates? Then, because our viewers might be interested.
Yeah, we have early bird rates that is expiring on Sunday, February 9th, 2025. It's going for 750,000 naira if it is non-residential. That means you are going home and coming back for 2 days. But if it is residential, it is 2 million naira. But the deal we are doing here for your view listeners, this is my first time here, so I would like to do a deal for you.
Ooh, nice. I like it.
So pay 750,000 naira and bring a +1.
Okay.
So if you are a business person, bring your second in command. You cannot just be the only one hearing these things, right? If you are an husband or a husband, bring your wife.
So that's for those who are going and coming.
Going and coming. Also for the residential too. Just pay 2 million, bring somebody that you can share the hotel room with. Because I'm not giving you a separate hotel room. We have already settled Marriott for everything that we are doing.
Okay.
But just bring a +1. That's the deal for your view listeners.
Thank you so much.
So they pay 2 million and get 2 people.
Yes.
As opposed to 750 where they don't get accommodation.
750 also gets 2 people into the hall, but it's non-residential.
So let's have
2 million.
Your final comments on this.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step that is taken, not a step. So I really hope that many young business people, especially young business people, for you to be outstanding, you must be doing things that your mates are not doing things that people that are older than you are doing, especially wise ones. So take that decision today, make your business a very, very structured one, and I'll see you at the HNS at Lagos Marriott next week, Thursday.
Congratulations on this your event. And I just also, while you were speaking, I was remembering Mr. Ezekiel, when he came to the show, and I was thinking to myself, like, a lot of young, successful people are very down to earth. They're not like your typical,
not as you see in Yoruba movies.
What I'm saying is that you guys are very down to earth, and I think you're speaking to the audience that want to hear you, young people who also want to be like you and even go beyond. So congratulations on what you're doing. Wishing you the best.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to a very short break. When we come back, we start our hot gisting topic today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ready for school? Yes! My champs, they use energy at school. I know, because imagine the energy they may have used up to return home this-transformed every day.
Your champs need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast.
It has nutrients that support energy release to help champs get the most out of their active days. Milo!
Walk me through your last experience.
At first, it started really well, but then it ended badly. It got really dark. Blue, black, dark.
That's never a good sign.
My friends said it. My colleagues said it. Even my mom.
You have a new one now, correct?
Yeah, a new one.
Isn't it rather soon?
No, when it's this good. Trust me, this one is different. A good kind of different. I feel like I am in a better place now. It's so clear.
New Golden Penny oil comes in 2 unique variants, soya and vegetable oil. Available at retail stores near you.
Mealtime is game on. Meet my Sure Bet Game Changer, made from natural ingredients to deliver game-changing chicken aroma and taste for my whole team.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Brand new studio, brand new set, a new face, but still your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
It's a fresh new energy, new vibe. You smell that?
Now that's the smell of tasty, tantalizing food from our various chefs.
And when it comes to sports updates with insightful analysis, the place you want to be is Wake Up Nigeria.
That's right. Every second there's a fresh occurrence, and every minute there's a story to tell. Keep abreast of happening locally and internationally via the news updates of Wake Up Nigeria.
It's light, camera, fashion, where we strut, slay, and sashay, and keep you updated with all the latest fashion trends.
Level up your morning.
Watch Wake Up Nigeria, where every morning begins with a spark.
Valentine's season is here and love is in the air. Guess what? Your View is kicking off 2025 with a bang, hosting our first ever live show on the 14th of February 2025 at the brand new TVC Communications Eco Atlantic Studios. You want to be a part of the magic? It's simple. Secure your seat now by registering online. Just send us your name, phone number, and tell us why you would love to join the fun. Get ready for hot conversations, fresh perspectives, and a chance to share your own view on trending topics. And oh, did we mention we have tons of gifts up for grabs? Don't let anything ruin your Valentine's Day. Join us for love, laughter, and lots of unforgettable moments. See you there. Valentine's season is here and love is in the air. Guess what? Your View is kicking off 2025 with a bang, hosting our first ever live show on the 14th of February.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company.
Thanks for staying with us. So, a viral video where a man was seen lamenting how he is suffering in the hands of his wife. According to him, he said that his wife hits him and now his daughters are hitting him and beating him up. He was crying out in church. Now, the reason why we wanted to talk about this is because a lot of time, the ladies of Your View, we focus a bit on on the wife being beaten by her spouse, or the fact that women are subjected to quite a bit of discrimination, abuse in our society. But we seldom discuss the abuse on men, especially in many quarters around the country, where men feel that they are subjected to torture, violence in their home, and they can't shout because, hey, first of all, for their personal ego, their family, they don't want anybody understanding or seeing that they're being beaten up by their wives. I've shared this personal story many years of a couple that I know. I know the couple, the wife was beating them. The man was a pastor, was a minister of God. And I used to go to their house a lot, and you could tell that he was just very calm. He just never wanted to touch this woman. But she knew how calm her husband was, and she used to just, you know, throw a fist at the slightest confrontation. So this happens quite a bit, and we hardly talk about it. So sometimes it's important for us to highlight these practices and see what can be done to stop it, and also get people to help men to seek help in getting solutions to this. But you can call us and share a few of your experiences with us. We'll be happy to hear your own thoughts. You can call us on 081-0764-1679-090-241-63440. You can also share with us on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your messages. So let's talk about experiences. You know, I mean, this man's lamentation. First of all, he was talking about how whenever he beats his children, the wife beats him back. Now, I know that we all have issues where our spouse is beating up the kids, and the thing is paining you as if it is you they are beating. But it has never gotten to the point where you feel you need to hit back. But what are your thoughts on this lamentation and the fact that there are men out there who get beat up by their spouses?
It was funny. Because a lot of people were laughing. It's funny. It shouldn't be. The way he was recounting it. So he's not recounting it from like a problem. He was recounting it as if it was a demon enter. Possessed. As if she was possessed. As if he needs deliverance from it. As if, you know, with prayers it can be solved. So you are dealing with something that is a mental issue, and you're asking for deliverance from it. Women too go through that, so I'm not going to even come and downplay it, but I wish he had done the right thing. Either you seek a divorce, or you go through reporting the way you would expect a woman will go to the DSVA, for instance, if you're in a state where there's a DSVA. Go to the police if you are not in the state where there's no DSVA. Go to the family desk unit and report that your wife is doing this to you. Because I know men who just walk away and never come back. Which is so they are abusive women.
So that's where I want us to go, because I want to focus this conversation this morning. What should do men in that situation do? What could they do? How do they resolve it?
So because let's talk about it.
Okay, so for what you were playing the video, I was watching the video on your phone. We should salute his courage. It takes a level of courage to admit that you are being beaten by your wife. It is not something that African men do. It's not something African men talk about. So it takes a bit of courage for him to even acknowledge and openly say what the problem is. It also takes a little bit of ignorance to say it the way he said it, you know. And you know, that's innocence and ignorance. The way he said Nima said, if you listen to him, he believed that maybe the woman is either possessed, or like maybe this is my cross to carry, and I have married this person, I will live with it. He was appealing that beat me in secret, don't beat me in front of the children. So you will know that this is a case of someone who is in a traumatic situation, has built a trauma bond with the person traumatizing him, and has seen it as a spiritual cross to carry, and is now begging for deliverance that will help. Is appealing. You know, it's how we sometimes go through something that is bad and excuse it and permit it. Like there are things you hear. I spoke to someone that her husband was beating her, and her husband abandoned her completely with 4 children for 1 year, and then she got an opportunity, and she was feeling bad that she would take this opportunity and her husband will not be there. In my head, I'm like, are you not? It's like, I hope there's no curse on your, like, what's this? You have suffered for years, beaten with pregnancy, and then you have an opportunity and you are not you are still feeling an emotional attachment to the father of your children. This opportunity, I wish he would just repent and join me. So, so there's a whole lot of emotional, psychological challenge that needs to be unpacked. And I might not be able to totally prefer appropriate solution, but I feel it should be studied. The level of emotional bond people can have with someone that is hurting you, which sometimes have led people dying in relationships, because this is really such kind of situation.
So I want us to try very hard not to bring this back to the husband beating woman. I know you didn't do that. I'm just saying that let's just consciously remind ourselves that today this half of the show are focusing on men who are being abused by women. There are lots of women who they feed off this society where we're trying to always defend women, international women's, we're trying to support women. There are people there saying, okay, you have to, everything is all about how to ensure and empower the woman. So they feed off that and know that there's nowhere the husband is going to go, he won't find help. The other one too, because society will judge him, he doesn't tell anybody. The people he tells, he's scared they're going to talk about, take his story around. So what do we do to help a man who is being abused by his wife? And it's not only physical. There are verbal abuses also some men undergo.
I'm glad you went there, because about us maintaining, because I'd sent a video to the group where this doctor something, I can't remember his name, says the moment you marry a bad woman, the devil no go look your side again, because he has he has settled you permanently. And in that video, the wife was punching the man on the bed. The man was holding, and it wasn't funny. I was watching it, I was angry. And I went through the comments, because it was a tweet. I went through the comments, and all the men were saying, and it was one of the reasons why I posted it on the group. It's because most of the men were commenting at, the women will not talk now. If it is man beating woman, all the women will shout. All the women will see this one now. Women will not talk. And I posted it on the group that day because I really wanted us to discuss it. So, our producers now found this one, so it's like poetic justice for me. Because I think it is very important that we do discuss women beating men. Because they do beat their men. And sometimes it's not that the man cannot, but he does not want to be seen beating a woman.
And he wasn't raised that way. He's not exposed to that kind of violence. So he's still confused, and he probably truly loves this person. And he feels that he understands where she's probably coming from. So there's a lot of time where we need to really pack this. But before we move forward, I'm told that we have to disconnect from the TVC news channel because there is a live coverage of the installation of newly appointed monarchs in Adamawa State. And the scheduled celebration is for 10 a.m. So they're going to start very soon. And yes, we've linked up already. And we will continue on the terrestrial channel and online. So I guess you'll continue on YouTube and watch us on GOTV and on StarTimes. Okay, so as I say, let me come to you, Nima, because I know that you've defended a lot of women, who have been beaten up. But are there men? Have you ever heard of a man's case, and how has the case been, and how did he come out? What exactly did he follow through to the end? Was the woman arrested? Was she detained? What exactly in your own experience as a lawyer?
Just to know my ears, yeah. So the most recent one. So there are some men who are feminine in how they respond and see life. So this case of this audio is one of such men. What I do is that I man the man up. When you come to my office, I tell you if there's a need for an action, I'll tell you. But this particular person listened. I said, there's no need for this action. If you go around, because of the way society is wired, you're just going to get popular and it's going to die so fast. But there are things I know men from my opinion do, and if you do it, you will see results. And it was when I said, number one, you can't exist in a violent, toxic environment while your kids are growing. So since she has chosen, once she see you tear cloth, once she see you fight, once she see you tear cloth, walk away, get another place. And it was like, hey, but my kids, I said, you pay for that residence, don't you? Come to that residence and visit your family. When you see your kids, let them know you are there because of them, but don't exist in the same environment where you can't even sleep. There was a day this man slept outside his office because as he was trying to find somewhere to put mats in the office, somebody found him, and so he knew going home, and he needed to come to work. He just slept outside there with the security till morning. Because if he comes home, this woman will do everything, and has his verbal abuse, cursing. The kids are there watching, and I want to use this opportunity to talk to women. It's not like we don't have sharp mouth, we don't have know how to curse, but when you curse the father of your kids, let's say the man is the most toxic man, no matter how much that pain is, when you curse him, the curse can come back through his children, which are your children. So when there's a weight to cursing, make you think and well. So she would do that cursing, and then she had a higher connection, she had a backing. So if he goes to any law enforcement,
I have more money, I'm more financially stable than you, I can get away with anything, you have nobody to report me to. Because there are some situations where women feel that because the man is not able to meet her financial and economic needs in the house, she's in charge, and then she has the right to control him. So does it go back to the question of the order in the home, how it was originally created? You know how we've tried to evolve.
In this case, there's a language she used to use. You can never amount to anything. You are an ordinary man. He points to a language from, showing to her childhood. That language, she's always saying it to him, and when he hears it, it hurts him and he believes it. And then he goes and he loses maybe a major deal that he's dealing with. So he loses money. And he says, she's the one that is bringing it. It's even spiritual. But if you hear it, you know that this woman should be sitting in therapy. Because she doesn't know how to exist. No matter what she has, this one doesn't even have money. It's not about the number of education, and yet she curses. So it's not about whether a woman who is a wholesome person, who is a complete woman, no matter what she has, can love and be loved.
Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll take a few phone calls and read some messages. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your View empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707 272 8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic. And enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
So, there is a small problem.
Despite all the entertaining ads we've created for you, some of you still haven't tried our services. Come on. First of all, we are a licensed microfinance bank. For instance, you can open a business account with us and get our POS with it. It's good for your business.
I love it.
Our card is the wall. You can open a business or personal account with us in minutes.
Download the MoneyPoint app or find an agent near you to get started.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
At break time, when my champ needs to keep going, he's going to need his favorite snack, containing calcium, iron, and fiber.
Milo Snacks, snack of future champions.
Milo! So, there is a small problem. Despite all the entertaining ads we've created for you, some of you still haven't tried our services. Come on. First of all, we are a licensed microfinance bank. For instance, you can open a business account with us and get our POS with it. It's good for your business.
I love it.
Our card is the wall. You can open a business or personal account with us in minutes.
Download the MoneyPoint app or find an agent near you to get started.
Entertainment means music, electronic dance music because I love house music, dancing in the bathroom, maybe, hopping around, dancing in your underwear, listening to music, eating suya or maybe tozo sometimes, and food and comedy is entertainment to me.
Thanks for staying with us. So today we're talking about men, their concerns, and the fact that many of them also have asked your view, ladies, to talk to our female counterparts who are very violent, verbally, emotionally. Emotionally mean that you use food, you use sex and all that to deny your spouse, and just because you feel that you have some kind of leverage. And that's why, and the reason why where I want this conversation to go is because sometimes when you say, when you remember say, as in, let's do things the way our parents used to do them so that they look the way they are. Now, it doesn't mean that I totally agree with that statement, but the truth is that there are traditional ways marriages have been structured. For a modern woman, it is somewhat demeaning, it is somewhat discriminatory just because of certain things. And as we are living those realities, we're seeing that maybe this is why they said woman submit. Maybe this is why they said man is the head of the family. Maybe this is why they said God, there was an allocation of the responsibilities such that there won't be confusion, because when roles changes, sometimes one spouse feels empowered over the other, and then you can see stuff like this. I'm just saying, just for a conversation's sake. So today that a lot of women are empowered enough to stand up and beat up their spouse, who's supposed to be the head of the family or leader of the home. Now, is it because of society, our thinking that has caused this? Or women have always been beating up their husbands in the past, and we didn't know about it?
Yeah, I think that women have always beaten up their husbands in the past. Just it's a taboo. So
it's not amplified.
Yes, nobody wants to talk about it. And women, men will feel embarrassed to share, but a woman will be quick to talk about the fact that I'm being beaten, because everybody would rally around them. I think both parties, when it happens, it is bad. So, but since we're focusing on men being beaten, for you to beat a man, for you to even stand up and raise your hand against an adult, there must be something wrong. women are soft human beings. We're meant to be, you know, soft, nurturing. You take care of your baby. You do, like, we are feminine, and feminism is sort of, being feminine means that you have this softer personality, while the man is masculine, and they define it more as being, you know, stronger and aggressive. So for a woman to get into that space where she's aggressive, she's pouncing on a man, punching a man, something is wrong. Like, there's a not loose somewhere. Either there's a past trauma, the person probably sometime in her life she has seen her mom being beaten back to back, and so she grew up with the idea of, before you raise hand, I will punch you. That's a school of thought. Or she herself was beaten or bullied as a child, and she developed coping mechanism and became very aggressive, and so the man is on the receiving end of an aggressive woman. That is not the norm. That's not the way it's meant to be. And there are few, but when we see them, we should understand that these people need hospital, Yaba left. They should talk to a psychologist, therapy, to unpack why they are behaving out of what I feel should be character. So if we try to rationalize it, it's not normal. It's not normal for a human being to be like that. So I cannot explain how a man should deal with it beyond take her to the hospital. It's like when you see a human being running temperature, you don't say, let me find how I'll deal with this thing. I will take her to the hospital where she will get treated. Yeah. But the verbal abuse, for me, is very, very key. We talk about it, because the physical abuse, you can see the damage. The verbal abuse is you're breaking this human being. Many men suffer verbal abuse. They are being demeaned in their house, and we should discuss it even much more.
In front of their children, in front of their parents, in front of their loved ones. Let me take this call. Dozier is calling from Ikpaja. Good morning, Dozier. Hello, Dozier. Dozier, are you there? You see, for the physical abuse, you can actually hide it. You can say, oh, I fell. But that emotional, verbal abuse cuts deep. And the problem is that it breaks a man. Because even though, yes, we want men to see that women see women as equal partners, but there's still that part of a man that makes him the leader in many ways. So when you break him to that point, how then does a man survive the situation where he's verbally abused?
I also think that we need to tell people to think about their children, because this man in the video was talking about the fact that even if you want to beat me, don't beat me in front of my children. That was his statement. Even if you want to insult your husband for what he did, don't insult him in front of, because you are now causing generational trauma, because what children see, most likely they would repeat, and so they would almost do the same thing without knowing. I've watched video, and I've heard people say things, and I'm like, where did this person grow up? Because I did not grow up hearing things like that. It's not even normal in my own household to hear things like that. So when I see people going through that, I'm like, what environment did they grow up in? What did they hear? What did they see growing up? Because you will only do what you see. I will not speak Chinese, no matter how smart I am, because I did not grow up in a place where they speak Chinese. I would only do what I'm saying.
Can I just say something? Sorry, Nima.
Can I pause just for a second? Is it possible? I have a call I've been holding for you. Good morning, Emeka.
Yeah, good.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
The ladies of your view.
Thank you, sir.
Good to be here. My name is Emeka from Kano. I'm really happy that this topic is being discussed, because a lot of times when we talk about men also going through gender-based violence, the third part why men don't even report is that people say, waiting in do the woman. He must don't provoke the woman before he beats her. And the truth is, I always tell people, why should we say waiting man do woman will make and provoke beat the man? Just as we always discourage policemen or security agents when people go to report, women go to report cases of rape, and they say, madam, now waiting you wear, now make the man rape you, or why you go the man house for night. Rape is bad. So same thing as beating. A lot of men go through a lot of gender-based violence, and I'm happy, Auntie Morayo, you mentioned this, that it's not even about the physical. I can't tell you how many times I've visited my friends that their wives are abusing them, not regarding that you know your husband has a visitor in the house. A stranger is in your house. Even if your husband offended you, whatever it was, you just run down the man. A pastor friend confided in me how sometimes when he wants to go to the other room, his wife of over 12 years, this is not just a newly wedded, will insult the hell out of him. So the funny thing here, as someone who is an activist, when we want to say, women, please, don't treat men like this, just as we also tell men, don't beat women. They don't want to own up. That is just the basic truth. They will look for one thing and say it is why we are doing this. And I say, madam, we've always stood our ground and we tell men, on no account should you beat your wife, or as in no account. So why can't we also take ownership and let the women say, do you know how many times, Auntie Morel, women have slapped men and get away with it, and they feel they've won awards. And I ask these women, this man not be human being. Imagine when he retaliates now, nobody will see the fact that you first slapped him. And this bruises the ego of the men. Men suffer a lot. I've been seeing instances where men will pay school fees. The woman will come in front of the children and be telling the children, now me pay your school fees though, your papa not do anything. I heard when you talked about empowerment, I have lived with successful women. God has blessed me with rich aunties, rich stepmothers and everything. I can tell you, Morayo and ladies of the youth.
Oh, Emeka. Oh, we lost us.
In the world, my auntie will pay the children's school fees. Sometimes my auntie's husband will not have money to pay house rent. None of the children will know. It's we that enter the house we know. She bought her husband a new car and told the children, go and congratulate your father. Daddy just bought a new car. The wealthiest women are even the most humble that we know. And so, last thing I will say before I round up, can we begin to have more female models, role models, to pass on mentorship to younger girls? Because the rate at which some of these girls are going.
Okay.
Somebody just has.
Thank you very much. Ameka, let me let you go at this point.
I was about to say something. Yes. So I was about to say, I hate that as we're discussing this topic, we are kind of making excuses for these women. I watched the video where the guy was complaining to the pastor, the children were there, the man was trying to read something, the children didn't even help him, meaning they have lost all respect for him. The woman was like this. That woman, if I had the power, I would jail her. Straight. She deserves it, because when a man does it, we always say, he has to go to jail. Why is that woman still free? There was no reason, because she wasn't even remorseful. Watch the video. She was not remorseful. She was, in fact, when we get home, the look was, when we get home, I will beat you another beating.
I will deal with you.
So excuse me, that kind of person, to me, jail. Take her to court, put her in jail. The same way you will do a man. Give them the same treatment you will give the man. Don't make excuses because it's our gender. Okay. You keep on making excuses and keep on saying she has mental problem. The men too have mental problem that beats women.
Yeah.
So let all of them go and spend time in jail. In fact, put all of them inside the same cell so they can beat themselves.
Thank you, Auntie Annie, for saying this. So that I'll just go and say the second thing I was planning, because I was going to just first of all shout like this, but I was sitting at home the other day and my husband did something. I was like, this marriage thing, people that do 40 years, 50 years inside, they are patient. Because really, everybody provokes everybody. We're sparking off each other. That's the truth, really. And there's a way you must raise female or male. So we are focused as a society on raising female, preparing our girls for abusive men, telling the girls to be empowered so that if you do, you walk away. Telling the girls to my father used to tell us to do karate and buy us a pen knife when there was rape and all of that. Prepare yourself, carry your, But are we preparing our boys? And that I saw, thankfully, a story my grandfather shared of an uncle of mine whose wife was abusive. Once it happens in my family, you will see my aunties coming and separate their brother immediately. He won't come back home to an abusive woman. That's the way it's done. So you cannot exist in that circumstance and still be trying to be a man. That's the sad part of this case. To the extent that the children have, because you've not been taught to stand up for yourself. As that man is, what is you?
Easy to live because they also love their children.
No. Yes. There's nothing that is uneasy to live. For men particularly, because if you are not the one nurturing at the time, You know, you they breastfeed at the time. You can't exist. And some women depression is that they are so aggressive. Even their child is at risk. So you must live where you need to live. It must be a loving, enabling environment for you to be there. Not be saying you go there. Your kids now find it okay.
But where can men find help? Where can they find
support? It will start somewhere. Men's help is even easy because you're not, when you leave, you don't have to carry your baggage.
It's not.
When women, hold on, talk about it, I'm coming somewhere. When women leave, they have to carry their baggage. When those circumstances I saw growing up happened, my uncles just came back to the village. My grandfather would marry you a new wife who will pamper you silly. You will not remember your pain. And I remember that my uncle living in the city and then how he lived and passed in the village. He started a small life where everything they could plan together. If your kids lose respect for you and you're a man, it's better to quickly catch up and start a family. And now because trendy yes, start a new family. No, that's the point. Right. A woman must, as you must also create that. And you can't be that video YK shows. Imagine that video.
That thing you said.
I'll start a new family.
Because this thing she said is really important.
It's controversial.
No matter whatever happens between you and your spouse, you should never be at the position to make your children to respect their father, because it is a really, really bad omen for children to have no regard for their father. It's really
but we know obviously that any woman that is already beating and insulting and cursing the man is not thinking straight. So that person is not thinking of the impact on the children. She's just venting. And I beg to disagree with Nima concerning the fact that men have it easy. You see, any man that is already being bullied, beaten by his wife and insulted by his wife will most likely be bullied again by men. YouTube comments is saying that one is not a man. That's a simp. That's what they'll tell you. So the man that is being bullied would go and complain that I just got beaten by my wife. And what would they say? Like they would insult him. Men will get insulted for being beaten. They will get insulted and you are complaining. Go back home and deck her. That's what they will say. So we are not really welcoming. If a woman cries out and say, they beat me, everybody will say, come and collect hug. But they say, the man up. You are not a man. If you are a man,
but there are ways to man up.
We say that
they have to tell a man the truth.
Let me hold on, Nima. Let me explain it. So we are not really providing support for the men. It took women a long time to get to this point where they hug a woman to say leave the marriage too. Women for many years were told to go back home. They will tell the woman to go back home and manage the relationship. But we got to a point in time when women say they are being beaten, they receive a hug, and they are told go into a shelter. But the men are told to man up. It's not every man that can find it easy to man up. Like we said earlier, some men are feminine. They are soft men.
More reason why
soft men should be loved.
Talk about the more reason why.
Yakub has been holding. Hey. Can I pause you for a second, please? Yakub, thanks for calling. I want to write it down.
Thanks for keeping me for long as well. You know, they have increased our tariff for our bed.
He said they've increased tariff.
Good morning, once again, everyone. I don't know, maybe you guys are listening to me. I totally agree with Lima, 101%. You see, for me, this very particular topic, it is so laughable. It is so laughable in the sense that a man is complaining that a woman is beating him. Well, it is the other way around. You see, for me, before you even got to marriage, we always said this to women that you should prepare for the second level. Second level means that have a job. If your husband is doing you something, you take a little bit, spend 5% to a man. Before you even get to marry, do you have a job? Can you be able to take care of your home? If you are taking care of your home and then your wife is doing this, what tells you not to walk away? Because it is a laughable for this. A man coming out telling us that his wife is beating him. I totally agree with his standing because first and foremost, can you not just leave the home and go and take another life? Because if you left the house, even the children, that they already bring you down to their level. Imagine that kind of a nonsense. A true man will leave and then you go and rent another house.
All right. See this second. Thank you, Yaku. I have to go on a break. Thank you, Yaku. You see, when we say now we can say take another wife, but usually we discuss, why would a man leave his family and go and take another wife? There's a whole different conversation. Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, I'll come to you, Nima. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Is to stream thrilling Nollywood movies, catch up on
officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me?
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing men being abused. Nima was going to say something.
Okay, so I wanted to answer Topo when she said, why would you say to a man, call a man? There are ways, and that the solution is not the same. It's not one size fits all per gender for all genders. They say when you hug your daughter, you will tap your son, and you will not hug your son. You don't want to turn him to a woman. That's the point. He's a man, and a man he must remain. The moment you are hugging him in an abusive, come on, he's no longer 10 years old. If my son passed 10 years old, if he gets hugged, he will be on special occasions. It's not because I don't love him, but because I don't want to raise him. Sadly, I have to use the word. The same. Hold on, Auntie Eni, hold on, Emma Bino. The solution differs per gender. It differs per gender. A woman might need that provision, but a man with his provision must be able. It's not the cry you want to cry. You don't want to come and cry outside.
Let me pause. Why can't she wants to burst?
No.
Let her burst.
Let her burst. I have to answer Nima. Excuse me, Nima. I hate it when they say a man doesn't need hugs. A man is not allowed to cry. Wait,
that's not what I said.
A man is different from a woman. No, I'm not saying that they're the same. But a man, I think, my belief, should be hugged. I hug my grandson.
Yeah.
I hug him all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he's a woman. I shout at him when he bullies his sister. When you keep on saying men don't need hugs, men can't cry.
I picked one thing.
No.
Wait, hold on.
Men,
so
let me finish now.
No,
I didn't interrupt you. I let you finish.
No.
So when a man is not supposed to cry, is what we bring up men with this psychological problem.
They're not emotionally connected.
Yes,
I disagree.
I disagree.
Can I say this is what I said? So I have a son. You all know I hug. Every night I sleep with my son, but he's under 10. The age appropriate upbringing, I will give him, and that's me. In context, God forbid, he's in a situation like this. What I will tell him is not to come and take or go. I will tell him, yes, and I will not tell him go and beat a woman. I will tell him man up. Meaning is that use your provision and find a solution. Not that you cannot, as a man, you can't be in this situation and you're crying out to people for help. How many people's houses will you go crying? Are you a woman? Yes, that's not the way you'd react. They will be looking for you. Baba Bisala, where are you? You are no longer around. We've been to your house. We've not seen you. When she's ready, we'll talk about it. She must be calm and willing to save that marriage before you address it. If you are talking to everybody, Auntie Annie, this Baba Yaki Nico and slap me. Yes. The disrespect will spread. It will spread in society.
I get the angle you're coming from.
Gender stereotypes.
It's not gender stereotype. No, genders are they're peculiar. They're different. We must address it like that.
I don't like when we do blanket statements. We need to none of what we're saying can be mutually exclusive. Your opinion is valid and it's your opinion. So is mine, because we've seen how men suffer in being able to express themselves. We've seen how we have raised African men not to be emotionally connected. African men don't connect emotionally. And when they do, they call them soft. African men don't understand because we don't raise them that way. And it must be a deliberate effort. Your strength does not mean you're not emotional. I would say hug that man that is being beaten. Hug him so he understands he's valuable as a human being that has emotion and hurts. Then sit him down and we do the pros and cons. What are the pros of this? What are the cons of this? What are the decisions you will need to make? Rational decision, not just brute force. What we see is allow men to use brute force to deal with emotional situation because they cannot verbalize challenges. They are not taught to, as in, vent and release. Women will cry. And in that cry, everything that is doing us, we will be able to rationalize. Okay. But we're not giving men that same advantage. So here is my opinion on when a man is... I do not agree with not hugging. My boys are 13
story,
and they are 13 in a few months, April. And I know that they are feeling uncomfortable because everybody walks around with puberty. So how do I deal with it? We hug from the side. You can't hug somebody like that. That's what she's saying. So it's education. Yes, that's what she's saying. I'm coming to what she's saying, that I understand what she's saying, but that it doesn't mean that what I'm saying is invalid. It's about balancing it. So men don't get the support.
There's a study I read. I don't want to stay out too much on this.
I need to do this. I'm not saying brute force. I would never. But I would say handle it as a man should.
And that's what she's saying. What does the definition of a man should? What's the definition of a man should?
You must be able to retain your respect, not with brute force.
Okay.
If a woman disrespects you for not having money, it means that maybe she has more than you.
Okay.
It's okay to maintain that means, not steal. And you cannot be seen at that point to be shouting every day, I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. You are not communicating. You will do actions that will show that you're the man.
I get a job.
Get a better job if you can. If not, provide what you can for your children in the most respect. Carry yourself with the dignity you require, not to come and beat anybody. So I hope that people who are listening don't come and put words in my mouth. I didn't say brute force. I didn't say punch anybody. You must carry yourself with the dignity that you want to be that dignity you want to be given to you. You will first of all show it.
Let me
it's not by calling call. Family meeting.
You're live. Thanks for calling. Mercy, you're live. Good morning, Mercy, you're live. I think I lost that call. You see, there's a study I read some years ago, that a lot of men who engage in domestic violence, beating up women, many of them were provoked by some type of verbal abuse, which is hardly documented or measured. So a woman has emotionally abused you, verbally abused you, and you've been broken. And the one time you reacted and you give her a slap, she faints, the police arrest you, and you're detained. And then you become the villain because, he beat her up. So that report, as I said, many years ago, that we hardly document what led to the domestic violence that is widely recognized and documented. There's a lot of verbal abuse in the home that we don't see, that we can't measure it because there are words that pierce through a man that we never see. And he gets that day in, day out, week in, year out.
And he's bottling it up until it comes out as a slap.
Yes.
And it might never come out. He might just never be able to achieve his potential.
Exactly. Sometimes it's not through violence that it comes out. It's just being perpetually unable to move on with his life. So these are things that we want to use this conversation to highlight that it exists, and we must also give it a bit of more attention because men need that attention.
Yes, I totally agree with you because we say it's a man's world, but women are more they pitied. In situations like this, it happens to a woman because the man has muscle and everything, and he can actually bring out. So we see that, but when a man is being verbally abused or physically abused, you are not going to see the marks.
They would even doubt a man. When a man says he's been abused, the first response is a lie. The assumption is that it's not true. We immediately, until there's evidence, the first question is, you cannot say
your little son is crying. Stop it, be a man.
No.
Men are told, no, I'm not saying you, but I've heard it.
Yes.
When your little child, the father or the mother will say, what are you, a woman? Stop it. So men are not allowed to cry. Your mother will die. Why are you crying? I was close to my mom, so I want to cry. So men are not allowed to use their emotion to show emotion, and it comes out in different ways.
Even when we talk about women, there are certain circumstances we say tell the woman, no, before here you go cry, you go brace up. A woman, So my brother and myself were in the hospital when my father died. We hugged each other. We cried very well. When I saw him crying, I started crying. We hugged each other.
Dozier has been holding for a while. Dozier, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
I'm with you.
You're live.
Please, two parts. Can I contribute?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay. You've been too passionate about this topic, and it's not really about you. I've been kept online for over 6 minutes now.
Sorry,
I'm so sorry.
Sorry about that.
My take on this poisonous topic is that
poisonous.
So women will even go to the extent of abusing one's mother. Are you with me?
Your husband's mother-in-law. Okay.
Yes, they will abuse their husband's mother. Very provocative, and I don't know, there is a man that is an authority in this domestic violence, so Omoshedi. Maybe I will advise if you can invite him to your station to discuss this problem. Am I with you?
Yes.
We are with you.
I can hardly hear you.
We can hear you very clearly.
Okay, please. That Dr. Omoshedi is an authority on this topic.
Okay.
It's with Nigeria Info. So, but I can align with all what Elijah has been saying. And it's really a problem because everything eventually leads to domestic violence.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dozier. So Dozier raised something important. Like some of these women also beat up the husbands, the mother-in-law.
No, he said they abuse it to provoke the man. They provoke those beating. Yeah. So women do that. Women also, women sometimes don't even suffer. They will cry out because society ordinarily, a girl is supposed to be softer, smaller, and so when a man is supposed to be beating them, it's supposed to be a bully situation. And so, but I was saying that even to a woman in marriage already with kids, women, when something happens, call women, auntie, not before here you go cry, make you man up, make you hold body. People advise you. So it's not that when a man comes with the same circumstance, you tell him, oh yeah, come and cry, come and, oh, my father will say, come, you should come and suck breast. You will tell him the truth. I had an only brother. I remember when my brother, every night we'll sit together in the house, we'll be talking and I'll be gisting all the gist about everybody in class. My father came to the room and said, this is now how it's come and raised you. So you two will now become talk. No, you need, because it was an only son, so you need another boy who you would
let me unpack what Nima is
not
saying.
your sister.
Let me try to unpack what Nima is saying, because the truth is that we've tried to reverse what has been naturally always given, where a man who was almost, biblically is the leader. Adam was created and every other thing was created after him. And there's always been this natural hierarchy that was created. But modern times I've tried to change that, reverse that somewhat. So a man is tagged as soft when he's able to cry, but we say men are allowed to cry. But what I'm hearing is that we're not saying you shouldn't cry, but the truth is that there's a role a man should play. where it's supposed to be a leadership role. Now, we need to define that. Are leaders allowed to cry? Absolutely. Now, what kind of leader would you be if everybody sees you crying? Is what you're saying, that yes, you might cry, but don't become the person that, see, the president is crying, married by our president all over the place is just crying, he's crying in China.
We had one governor now. Every small thing.
Did you think he was natural? No. This man should be crying.
No, because he's not crying hardly.
I rest my case.
He's crying.
But men should cry now. He was emotional now.
Abiodun has been holding. Good morning, Abiodun. Abiodun, thanks for calling. You are live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir.
How are you, ma'am?
Very well, thank you.
I just want to greet all the noble women of your field.
Thank you, sir.
What you are discussing this morning is you are really talking about my real life. If I tell you that before my wife finally packed up,
you know this kind of call, they used to lose network.
Producer, you call him back. Mr. Abiodun,
I better go.
We have to speak to Mr. Abiodun because the reason why we do this show is because of people like Mr. Abiodun to understand. So please help us call back Mr. Abiodun. Yes.
So you know that there is an expectation that women are soft, and we have seen women who they are strong.
They've lost their softness.
No, not
natural.
Please. I'm talking biologically, scientifically proven. They have a lot more testosterone. They are strong. It is not based on being raised. It's not nurture. It's nature. And there are men who also have biologically feminine. It's not about
estrogen there.
Yes, okay. It's not based on how they were nurtured or anything. And there must be room for people to be how they are. So when we talk about the man needs to be strong, then we ignore the fact that there are men that do not have the capacity to have that strength. It's not in them, and we shouldn't. So if we also talk about you see. There are cases where we have conversations like this, and the likelihood of us just saying this is how we should be. There is no one box that fits everybody. There are men that are naturally wired to man up and they would deal with situation, and there are men that need the other room, other emotional expression. So I was having a conversation yesterday, and I want to
you said the other room?
No, emotional expression, room for emotional expression. So we were having a conversation yesterday after the show. Our guest was a diaspora returning, and she had another guest, and so after the show we were asking her that how is it dating Nigerian men, because they did not grow up here. What they said was they would financially take care of you and give you, they would spoil you, but they are not emotionally connected, not in the same way as the people they date in their abroad when they are there. The two of them said it. They've had those relationships and they're like, the Nigerian man will take care of you, but he does not understand your emotion. He won't even really express emotion with you. So we don't see it because it's normal everywhere we are until you expect.
I'm going to share a friend's story after I say this. I understand hormones and how they affect women. I am a PCOS case, which means that I might have some male hormones stronger than my female hormones. I am learning. I had to learn it growing up to be feminine. You unlearn certain things that you call nature to be appropriate, because you need to be a mother. You need to sharpen your mothering skill, your wifely skills. Those are the places that you'll be most functional. To be most functional, you need to sharpen that skill, that hormones, the one you need the most. You cannot exist in your nature and be in a place different, and then you say you will function. You at some point malfunction. That's the truth. See the societies where they say all of them should remain like that. He was born, I feel feminine, and they are now their president has said that there are only two genders. We are back to where we started. If all of us go default mode eventually, that's the truth. Eventually we'll return to default mode. Just as Aisha was saying, a man, no matter how much loving he loves a woman, if he doesn't show her he's a man, at least in retaining his dignity, he will never be respected. And this is a friend's account. I know I'm not allowed. I might take permission from my husband, but this friend of ours, my family friend, was in a 13-year-old marriage, loving to the back. He did not only provide within his means, Now she's saying she wanted a wealthy man. When she married him, she wanted him to be extremely wealthy. But that's not the point. If the man makes 100,000 and he spends 80,000 on this woman, I beg, is he not wealthy? Is he not trying?
He has tried.
Apart from doing all of that, he comes home, packs his wife's clothes, he will wash it, his neighbors will be laughing. He will say, no, I'm just supporting my wife. And while he was doing all of that, she kept disrespecting him on his means, on his ways. The matter reach where slap they join. DNA they prove children not be your own. Confrontation is telling him the children are not his own. And I kept asking my husband, when are you going to advise your friend to do this right thing? I said it's not to beat, he should step out of this place. And she didn't do that. He stayed with her. She stepped out with another man, with all his children. And right now, as we speak, he requires she's telling him to come and prove that the children are his own. You don't continue at that low point, and you're a man. That's the truth. You step up. Hold on, Tope. When you are done crying, hold on. I'm not saying no, Auntie, and leave human. We're talking of the two genders now.
Human.
You stand up. If at one point in that marriage, when she first of all said that statement, even when she first of all disrespected him, he withdrew that service. For instance, washing. For instance, if I Nima, a woman, wash my husband's clothes and he does not say thank you or he doesn't appreciate how it's done, he won't get the service the next day.
Human.
That's human.
That's a human reaction.
Good. So now that's but when it's a man, I will say no, you should keep loving. Now, no. And when a woman says to a man,
nobody is saying that.
This
we want to back that.
We hear you. We're not.
Let me just say what I'm saying.
We have 2 minutes left on the show.
Hold on. When a woman, I'm saying the answers, the solution are peculiar gender.
Yeah.
And because the roles are peculiar.
Okay.
And if a woman were to say to you, a man, this child is not your own, that woman must prove where she stands. That's what our society, our own traditional society would make her do. Okay. But now when you are coming, where people are coming, maybe we should just.
I know. If a woman says to a man that child is not your own, if I'm the man, DNA straight.
I will not touch you. I will not eat from you. I will call my family to wrap that child is mine.
So I feel that when we create gender, like we're talking about gender, I'm saying it's human being. Human beings should not be wicked. Human beings should not be wicked.
I totally agree with you. We are talking two genders now. This man, I do video. We are not talking human being right now.
We have to. I don't know that gender than two gender. I don't understand. Why you talk two gender? How many gender are there?
We are blurring the lines.
I think we have to wrap up. But I think I like what Nima has said earlier, where she said that at some point we all refer back to default mode. Because the truth is that as the world is going, do this, we are evolving. But somehow we always come back to base that, okay, whose role is what? I remember I've said it several times where I think it was a pastor who held many years ago when I was having issues in my own marriage. And she said something that, you see, you must, let me not use that example. But the point I'm trying to make is that we at some point will go back to default, but just like that.
We're not arguing roles.
Yes.
We are arguing kindness and wickedness.
Everybody
of human.
Should be kind and
so we have women being wicked to a man, and we must speak against it. Just as we say men being wicked to a woman,
I
should be spoken against.
To wrap this up, but I can't get it in my
kindness
head.
Kindness with everybody.
But let us
universal kind.
Okay, universal kindness.
Universal kindness. I agree.
That. I'm still trying to understand what's going on, but let's. That's all we can take on today's show. See you tomorrow. Bye for now. I don't even know what to say.
Even me.
The following is a paid presentation by Shop. The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. It's ShopX Bonanza time. ShopX TV is thrilled to offer an exclusive giveaway of up to 30% on the amazing CookX Air Fryer Oven from now till January 31st, 2025. Our incredible CookX 10-in-1 Air Fryer Oven that makes all the amazing fried food you love with 80% less fat normally retails for 299,950 naira. But call the number on your screen now and get it.